You've been told to grow a fan base first and the money will come, but that's a half truth. A fan base with nothing to buy is just applause. It's not income. And you're in this position because you've built an audience, but not a product. No offer, no sales. You're entertaining, but not earning. And all fans are not the same. There are levels to fandom. But when I'm done, you'll be able to understand what type of fans you have and how to serve these people. Now, because I know that you have a dream to change the world in a sense and make an impact to your pockets, I want to show you how to make that happen. So this episode is for new artists who want to learn how to monetize before their fans actually show up so they can look like pros from day one. And for artists and teams who already are moving and shaking, this will actually revolutionize what you're doing. So I'm going to open your eyes to your fan base here. It took me years to figure this strategy out. But the funny thing is, I didn't figure this stuff out selling stuff. I figured it out by buying stuff from other artists. And the truth is, sometimes when you're in the midst of selling, you don't think about the experience until you have to be in the experience yourself. And the greatest teacher is actually experiencing the other end of the entire purchase experience. I know it's a tongue twister, it's funny. But once I started going back to concerts and buying fan merch, I realized that there were 3 different types of fans. These fans could jump to any category or level at any time, which is true. It all depends on what you do. So there are 3 different types of fans, 3 main desires that we have as customers and fans, and then certain product types that we want to buy. So let's start with the fan base first, and then we'll move into those product types. First things first that we got to do is we got to segment the base, right? Most of you guys will think that all fans are the same. However, the real reason why you can't sell to your fan base efficiently is because you don't realize that the base is actually made up of 3 different types of fans: browsers, supporters, and fanatics, otherwise known as super fans. And this is why many artists default, watch this now, to putting everybody on Spotify. Now, recently, I heard an album by one of my favorite new artists on Spotify, and I didn't realize I was a super fan just yet, but I had been following them for over a year before they released a project. I'd already streamed their previous projects on Spotify, so when the new album came out on Spotify, I listened to it in its entirety. But here's the trick. I was hungry for more, and at this point, I realized that I was being underserved and I was beyond a browser. I was willing to open my wallet and pay this person for more access. I was actually a fan in this case. Browsers do just that. They window shop. But me, the supporter turned the fan, I want to support you. And these people buy items like t-shirts, hoodies, and hats. Now, I was beyond a supporter. I was a fan. I wanted the inner workings of what you do. I wanted the factory tour. We want access, acknowledgement, and achievement. Look at me, say that I'm that, hey, thank you, I appreciate you, and comment and give us some type of gamification thing that we can work towards to be your fan, right? Give us that engagement. So here's a quick way to segment your base. 80% of your following will be browsers, the people who live on Spotify but spend the least. 19% of your following will be supporters. They won't spend $100 on you, but they'll spend like a cool 50 to 60, maybe once a year, right? 1% of your base will be the fanatics. They will buy whatever you have so long as it satisfies their desires on our next step. Now, once you segment your base in this way, you'll begin to truly understand what you have on your plate, and you'll begin to market these people differently. Because I used to believe, just like you, that all fans went in one bucket. And then I split them into 2 buckets: people who are on Spotify and people who paid money. But it wasn't until Chris over at Even expressed to me that he likes to think of their customers as supporters of the artist because of the price point that they actually pay. Now, that's when I realized that there were 2 different types of higher paying fans. You got the supporters and then you got the fanatics. And you'll find that this is true. Now, right now, you're probably thinking, well, why don't I just put the money into the 80%? Because most of the people are on Spotify anyway. And logically looking at the numbers, it does make sense. But when you look at the return of it, it doesn't. The top 20% of your customers will take care of 80% of your overall revenue, and all industries know this. This is an age-old understanding, and when you start making money, you'll see it on your data sheets. Like I see it. My top 20%, you guys that pay me for stuff, the top 20% of people who purchase takes care of 80% of my revenue. Sometimes it's nearly all of my monthly revenue. But the next step we gotta do is we gotta fill their desires. Fulfilling your fans' desires actually converts your browsers, people who really don't pay on Spotify, to supporters and fans. Now watch this. Many people will sell t-shirts, hoodies, and hats to everyone, doing the usual stuff. But in reality, the reason why it's not working is because that's not what people truly want. They're being pacified, not satisfied, right? This is only because your mind is still in the space of all fans are the same, but we segmented the base. Now we have to fulfill their desire, and here are 3 main desires. Fans desire functionality, education, and status. I know it sounds crazy. You can keep selling more t-shirts, hoodies, and hats, and people will buy them. This is true, but at the end of the day, people will buy based on the use cases that you actually fulfill based on those three main desires: functionality, education, and status. And if you take a look at yourself and your purchasing habits, you'll find that you're actually doing these exact things that are hidden in your purchase behaviors. See what I'm saying? Just look back. You know what I'm saying? Creating products for these desires will transform the service that you give to your fans, and fans will come flocking to you, causing your sales to go through the roof. And if you're old enough to remember when Jay-Z released the Black Album, I was in high school at this time, with the concert DVD, the documentary, like, you'll notice that this is the factory tour process. It's the education, right? There are countless ways to do this, but this is probably the easiest way, right? We paid for it all. The main version, the limited version with the blackout cover, and the DVD and the instrumental version of that album. We had all of that. And I think he did that because Chronic 2001 had an instrumental version that was sold at Best Buy at that time. So I think that's why he followed step with that. Now, if you're thinking that you need a lot to do this, you don't. Specifically talking about the documentary. An iPhone and CapCut will do if you want to get started. Just serve one of the desires and you'll be straight. Serve the factory tour and you're gonna be straight. And I know you're tired of hearing document the process, but that's it. It ain't hard. Just turn the phone on. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent right here. So far, we've covered segmentation and desires, but this next part is where most artists and their teams will lose the bag. So stay with me. And side note, if you need a strong business foundation to run your record label with funding, grab my 60-day record label system beneath this video, complete with my funding partners to fund some of this merch that you're about to create. Now, we got to serve the underserved, because remember earlier I said I was underserved as a fan. So somehow serving the fan is the most difficult thing for an artist to do. However, no one can actually sell but you, not your manager, no one. Fans want to hear from you. So what are you going to do? The real reason why many of you guys don't really service your fans the right way is because, you simply don't know how to call them to action. And if you're story selling, right, properly, and followers are responding to the content, then your supporters and fanatics are already baked into your base. Now you just got to tell them where to go and they will follow. Now, I learned the concept of telling people where to go and they will follow from Donald Miller. And it's simple. All you got to do is say, go to the link in my bio, or comment this word and purchase this item. Again, you've heard it on this channel before. You're the Pied Piper. You are the Pied Piper. You play the flute, the mice follow. If you tell people where to go, they will go. Problem is, when I was underserved, that artist did not give me anything for the status, the education of it all, the factory tour, all of that. They didn't give me that. That was the problem. Now, when you do this, people will go where you tell them to go. They will pay the price, and then you will get many sales as long as you've given value to them. That's what I wasn't given. Now, the only reason why this is hard for you is because you don't believe in the product that you created for the fans. Stop me when I lie. I know I'm telling the truth. And if that's the situation, then you need to go back and analyze what you created for them and figure out what would make you say, or make you proud to say, you need this in your life right now. Click the link in my bio to purchase, or these will be available for a limited time only. Comment such and such, I'll send you the link. You don't need a fancy website. You just need one page with a checkout process on the same exact page your product is on. Eventually, you can get fancier with the pages and the process and the funnels, but start simple, because once you learn how to make these offers to these supporters and fanatics, it will change your life and your outlook on what you do for your customers in the future. So I want you to tally up all of your followers and take away 90% of them because they are inactive or not being shown your content by default from social media platforms. All of them. Segment the remaining 10% into 80% for browsers, 19% for supporters, and 1% for fans, and look at your numbers to determine which type of products you should create based on your follower count. You can also do the same for your email list, but keep 100% of them at this point, and then segment from there. The goal is to truly understand what a fan base is and the types of people it contains. The real question isn't, should you do this? It's how much longer can you afford not to? Because I know that somewhere along the lines, there's money leaking through your whole process. Now, if you need help with devising a strategy, join our group strategy calls every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inside of the Music Moneymakers community. I'll be there. You got questions, I got answers. Okay, you can do this. Truth is, the segments are real, but it doesn't take much skill to segment the base and create a product based on those three desires. It doesn't take much time to plan this out, and if you don't have much money, it doesn't take a lot of money to fulfill those desires. You just got to be creative. It does take a lot of ingenuity and creativity to make sure that those desires are fulfilled, and then those different types of fans get serviced on each level. Okay, I will give you that. But like I was saying, you can do this. And the truth is, I know you will do this, because if you don't do this, you won't be able to make high sales numbers in this industry, or any industry for that matter, because you will find that you will run into the same types of people in every industry. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to start with what you got and watch how far that can take you. I wish I could tell you something different, but actually I don't, because that would make it complex. It's really the same thing. It's not different. You know what I mean? It's not as complex as you making it. So this is what it's going to cost you to keep doing it how you doing it. The cost of ignoring your true fans and treating everyone the same way isn't just about revenue. It's much deeper to that. When you keep pushing everyone towards Spotify and basic merch without understanding their real desires, you're leaving both money and meaningful connections on the table. Eventually, you'll wonder why no one is shopping with you, causing you to second guess your whole entire efforts. And this will put you into decision mode, which ultimately causes you to default back to the standard merch and keep chugging along, or dig deep within your fan data to create something amazing that will last a lifetime with your fans. And again, I wish I could tell you that I'm lying, but I'm not. If you were struggling with not making enough money from your fan base despite having followers, treating all fans the same way and defaulting to Spotify, and struggling to create products that your fans actually want to buy, you now have the means to become the artist who serves their fans properly, to build a fan army that every artist dreams of having. Music Money Makers. If you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, grab the 60-day record label course beneath this video right now today, complete with funding. Join the Music Money Makers community, grab the free stuff below, and watch this next video right over here. And I'll see you next time. Peace.